Like that, man.
Wow,
Budweiser Canada, one of our sponsors. Quick plug.
Now, our next guest has one hell of a resume. He was just named to his 5th AllStar Game. He won a gold medal in Italy in 2006. He won the Vezina Trophy in 2012, a conference championship in 2014, has the most wins by a European-born goalie ever, and he just passed NHL legend Terry Sawchuk to take over 6th place on the NHL's all-time wins list for goalies with his 446th victory. Welcome to Spittin Chiclets, Henrik Lundqvist.
Thank you very much.
Wow, that's a lot of stats,
That was an
RA.
absolute stat without leading off with the most important one, that he's hot as shit. Sitting right next to him, I'm intimidated right now. We got the true man rock at the beginning of the statement. We came with you, but thank you very much for coming on. My first question to you is, does November 29th, 2005 mean anything to you in your head? Do you remember that day? I don't know if I'm not even gonna let you answer because I came over.
I know where this is going. I
right
knew
over
this
your
was
pad
coming.
for my first NHL goal. Mark Recchi assisted. The blocker wasn't quick enough. Sitting back in his net, and the
No
Whitney
way.
got him. Yeah,
No
I
way.
tell you right now, I got a picture of it hanging up, and meanwhile, you're like, "Who is that guy?"
Yeah, that day
What do you
doesn't. You know what I'm gonna say? I can't really remember that goal. But was it a good shot?
It was a snipe. I mean,
was a
I'll
snipe?
never forget it. You know, you shouldn't feel guilty about this one. It wasn't a
Okay.
cheapie. But seriously, no. I mean, what does it mean to be out here again, dude? Like, 5th time, as RA said. I mean, it seems like it's old hat, but you just seem to get older, but not age on the ice.
You know what? It's a great feeling to be out here.
Yeah.
But it's a little different now. The first few AllStar games, I was younger, obviously, but now having a family, I bring my kids. It's a different experience, and they're at an age now. They're almost 4 and 6.
So you know what's going on.
Yeah, I think slowly they start to
Yeah.
understand what's going on. So it's kind of cool to give them that experience and see, you know, what that is all about and
Yeah,
what
yeah.
he's doing. But it's a lot of pride, you know, coming here and represent the Rangers and get this opportunity. It doesn't get old at all.
Yeah.
And I love the game. I really do. Yeah, like you said, I'm getting older, but I love it. I love to compete, and the passion for the game is definitely there. So it's fun.
How's your clothing line going?
Clothing line. What do you think about the Brandon Boxer line with the hoodies and?
I was telling Whit, it's like a monopoly. You have your own clothing line. You get to model it all yourself. I mean, that's like,
Like, usually you got to hire someone to do them all.
yeah.
You know what? It's I let my boys back in Sweden run that company, but it's fun to be part of that. You know, I enjoy doing a lot of different things and try to be a little creative here and there. I love music, but a little bit of clothing as well. So why not?
Well, let's get right to the music then. When's the album coming out? You have a band with John McEnroe and some other famous people.
Yeah, when's the practice and where is the practice?
Yeah.
Where's the practice? We actually had a lot of fun this summer. Actually, back in Sweden, we started a cover band with a couple of friends back home. We're thinking about maybe doing a show in New York next fall. So I'll keep you posted
What
on
do you
it.
cover most?
I mean,
Anything?
I can't tell you too much, but it's a lot of rock and roll. A lot of rock and roll. And we also did a show in Oslo this past summer during our charity event. We had that outdoor game.
Yep.
Oh, I heard that
That
was
was
amazing.
So we had an acoustic set that time, but I'm thinking full band next fall. But I really enjoy music. It's fun.
For that game, that's involved with Zuccarello, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and so, I mean, we all know you in Sweden, it's probably hard to walk around, but we were told Zook in Norway, same thing, he's just a god.
Well, you could tell going there, Zuccarello means a lot to the people of Norway, and obviously he's meant a lot to the game of hockey in Norway. He's a big piece there and great ambassador.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of fun. We had close to 20,000 in the stands, outdoor game. It was 65 degrees. Everything turned out perfectly. I mean, the weather, you can't really control it.
No.
It was raining the day before, but the actual game day was perfect, and we had a blast.
There's a fair amount of Swedes in this year's All-Star Game. You know, you're one of the elder statesmen from your country. Do you get a sense of pride that so many Swedes are doing so well in the NHL over the last couple decades?
I don't think so much about it, but I think growing up it meant a lot to me because you look at those players and they're actually, they become inspiration for you. If they can do it, why not me? And so on. But you know, I remember growing up watching Peter Forsberg, Matt Sundin, Nicholas Lidstrom, and a few years later, I got the opportunity to play in the Olympics with these guys.
Right.
And it's such a surreal moment, and I think it happens to all of us. We grew up idolizing so many players, and just like that, you're in the league or you play for your country with all these players that you know, grew up idolizing. So it's...
Yeah,
you can probably agree to that. You have moments when you come into the league, like, is this really happening? It's a cool thing.
And someone like you, I mean, I don't know if you do it now, you probably don't, but at some point you'll think, like, wow, I've actually reached the top. I mean, I play with the best of the best. I have a gold medal. And so you always look up to these guys, and then you think, wow, that you're going to understand that kids are doing the same thing to you, which just means a lot, I'm sure.
You never think about it that way, but yeah, you
kids like, Hank, how are you? Take a picture with me. You're like, something's going on here. People love me.
Well, hopefully people appreciate what you do. We all put in a lot of work into the game and try to perform, but it's always easy to be on the other side, I guess, to understand that and see what other people mean to you.
Yep.
It's sometimes hard to understand what you mean to other people. But being in New York now for 14 years, you know, it's my home now, and to feel that support I feel from a lot of New Yorkers, it's very special.
You live in NYC in the winter. How do you keep such a perfect tan? Because I think Witt's maybe got a little information here.
Mac L tells me you circle those Florida, California trips right at the beginning. You're like, tanning session, LA, January.
You know, Florida trip is one of my favorites. We stay on the beach. You know, you get away from the game for maybe 15 hours where you get that afternoon on the beach and just relaxing. But actually now we had our bye week before the All-Star, so took the family to Mexico.
Oh,
so,
really?
I mean, that helps.
Yeah, that helps.
And worst case, there's a rainy day or something when you're on the road, and you could get a spray tan like Witt did when before his season in Anaheim.
I didn't know you're supposed to shower.
How does that work?
I'll tell you, it comes off your body, and then I'm more pale here, a little tan here, and then I got some tan on the cheek, but pale over on the other cheek. So it was a night. I never look like this, I'll tell you that, unless I'm just gonna maybe start putting bronzer all over.
So is that like a one-time thing then?
It was a one-time thing that the whole Anaheim Ducks team saw drip off me in the shower, and I just left the rink with shame.
Did
You would have had me traded.
Did Torts catch you putting on bronzer one time or something like that? There was a story.
No, the story was we had a morning meeting, and I put my swim shorts on after the meeting, and the guys were going for lunch or whatever, and he's like, Hank, where the hell are you going? Like, I'm going to the beach. It's kind of part of my game routine when we're playing in Florida. I just go out there, relax. I think about the game, but to me, the mind is so important, and to be there and relax and get energized. It's you know, saves up energy for weeks.
Oh, the vitamin D. Do you go through the exact same routine every game day? And like, tell me some superstitions leading up to games if you have any, or if you're weird about telling people you don't have any.
He's just like, don't ask me and stay away from me.
He's like, this one's over, boys.
See you, boys.
Click.
This RV sucks. Too.
It's hot though. It's hot in here.
It's real hot. It's real hot.
Just you.
It's just me.
You like that one? Yeah. So we're not talking your pregame superstitions. Your days planned out every game day.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not as strict as I used to be. I try to relax more, and you don't want to become your own enemy where you have so many things going on that it drains you. I think that's a balance for most players, where you have your routines. It makes you feel comfortable to deal with what you're up against, the pressure, the anxiety, or whatever. But then you don't want too many things where you start stressing about it. So I think that's the balance. And when I was 20, I didn't have that many routines. I just went out and played. And now I'm 37 almost, and I have a lot more going on. But I still feel like I have kids. But also the mind. You know more. So sometimes I think that can create problems when you start overthinking.
Yeah.
I think you have a lot of answers. But back to routines. It's just afternoon, I need a nap for sure. 2 hours.
Well,
that's a must.
We'll ask you about a guy that also has his own routine, a little different than yours, but a big fan of our show, big friend of ours, Kevin Hayes. What's that happy-go-lucky, big dumb animal like in the locker room every day? My favorite guy.
Always laughing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so important to have guys around that are happy and laugh and give that type of energy. Yeah, I love that guy. He's so much fun to have around. Great player too, and to have players to bring something on the ice but also off the ice all the time. It's huge. Very nice man.
Yeah, very
really,
nice. Boston
really
guy.
is.
Boston guy.
But
Hey,
kind of can hear that. Yeah.
you're on track for yet another 30-win season. You've won 30 games in all but the lockout season, assuming you get 30 this year. What do you chalk up your high-level consistency to? Why are you so good year in and year out?
Because he wears gloves under his walker and his glove. That's the secret.
That's a secret. keep them tight.
Keep your hands nice and dry.
Yeah. I love to compete. I think I take a lot of pride in try to be good in practice, but also in games. And to be consistent, I think, is the toughest part in this game when you play every second day.
Right.
So you really have to challenge yourself to try to get up there all the time. And it doesn't really matter what you did the game before, the year before. You just have to keep pushing yourself. And if you look at the league now, changed so much since I came into League 05.
Right.
The pace, the skill. As a goalie, it's way more challenging now, I think.
Yeah.
So the big challenge for me now is trying to adjust to it, but still stay true to my own style, if that makes any sense.
No,
but
it does make sense.
I don't want to over-challenge or over-commit to shooters, even though they're a little bit better now. They're a little bit faster. So try to stay committed to my own style of play. That's the big thing for me.
I want to ask you about the goalie gear changing.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that? Are you one of the guys who are like, hey, like fuck off, the gear's small enough, I got to protect myself? Or are you kind of like, I get it?
Well, I think for years I've been telling guys every time they come up to us and start talking about changing the gears, like it's not about the gear, it's about the actual game. If we focus on creating more scoring chances, you will see more goals. And in the end, I think fans will see scoring chances more than more goals. You want to see action. You want to see intensity. That's the most important thing to have a good hockey game. You can see the best hockey game ever and 2-1, as long as you have a lot of scoring chances. But for the most part, if you see over 20 scoring chances a game, you're going to have, I think, average over 4 goals per team. So that's where the focus should be, not so much on the equipment. And at some point, you also got to understand that the skill of the goalies now are they're good. Yeah. So you can't just blame the equipment. No, you got to actually look at how well are these guys playing the position. I think we're at a point now where it's good. I don't think you can stretch it too much more because it's
go back to wood sticks.
It's getting in danger. Well, that's another story. The players, the quality of the sticks and how hard they can and how fast they can shoot it.
I feel like these younger guys are shooting it differently.
Well, they grew up with the one piece. Yes. They're like learning how to
right.
use it to its complete advantage.
Right, like more flex in the six. You see Austin Matthews come down. He'll kind of like drag it a little bit, change the angle, and like the stick's doing all the work. They don't even break stride. They just kind of flick their wrists, and it's just like it sails off their stick. Yeah,
the wrist shot is like a slap shot 10 years ago. That's how well they shoot it, really.
What about like a weekend like this, your 5th time, and now it's 3-on-3? Like, you don't want to get injured, right? You have to like get ready to play with these guys buzzing around. Or you also still taking a little easy? You're competitive, but it's hard.
Yeah, I think you're in the middle there. You want to enjoy this weekend. Yep. It's not about try to win. You want to win, of course, but I think it's about having fun. So. 3-on-3, yeah. Obviously, I'm gonna give up some goals. I know that.
How many 2-on-1s am I gonna face?
How many suits do you think you own? Because you wear a suit almost every day. It's actually the first time I've never not seen you in a suit.
Off days, I never wear suits really, but I don't know. I never counted them.
But like a lot, like 50,
a lot,
50
yeah.
suits.
No, probably more, but.
I wish we could get RA in this outfit just to see like how he looked in this outfit. Like, I couldn't pull this off.
I ratty jeans because Hank wears them, so I go wear the jeans with holes in them now.
Yeah, those are designer.
I got a question for you. Mac L, this is another Mac L. I know the answer, but I'll let you. How much do you pay for a haircut? Because I don't think people will believe it.
$22.
What the fuck? Are you
I'm paying
me?
$60. I got a curly Jerry afro, and that's $22.
Go to a barbershop?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
You know, I walked around downtown and I saw this old guy. He was looking out. I was looking in, and he started laughing. I'm like, that's my guy. So I walked in, and he's been my guy ever since. He's the first barbershop or first hairdresser I've come back to more than once. Usually I just walk around and pick whatever. I never been really
Old school
picky
barbers
with
are
that.
the best, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I know he's old school,
look.
all right.
That's
But
what
he
he did to me.
but he's, you know, I'm happy with him. It's always good chats.
You still hang out with Sean Avery at all?
No,
He's out of his mind. You follow him on Instagram?
I don't. It's been a while. You know, we randomly we text here and there, but it's been a while. Yeah.
Well, dude, we appreciate you so much coming on. This is huge for us, man, having you over. And, like, it's crazy. I mean, I came to the league a little after you, and you're still at an elite level. So I'm super impressed, as is everyone else, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Can I
You
ask
guys
one
were
more-
so nice.
Can I ask one more question?
See, we were just friendly. We were going to say, but next time's when we get you. We reel you in, and then the questions come.
Okay, so this is just a
This is
trick.
the warm-up.
Do you know how long you want to keep playing?
Oh, yeah.
Like, come on, boys. You
break
got to
break
start.
some news here.
I mean, my contract is for another 2 years, so I want to finish that, of course, and then I hope that I can play at a high level, and my passion is there for another couple years.
Well,
So
I mean,
I would love to play after 40. I would love to, but there's a lot of things you can't
You want to be
can't
good
know right
still.
now.
Sorry
You
to
want to be
interrupt.
exactly. You want to be good still. The Rangers still want,
They still
there's
want
a
you.
two-way street,
Yeah, exactly.
and we'll see. But right now, I love the game. I love coming to practice. I love traveling and playing the game. So as long as I do that, I'm gonna continue.
all right. We gotta finish this off with one tort story. You got to give us a funny tort story because we hear a bunch of them all the time, and guys come on, they talk about them. You got any juicy
Did he ever
stories?
snap on you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, I think we all have our moments
Yep.
with coaches, and we had a good sit down once. Guys were walking by the office like, "Oh my God, who's in there?"
You clear his desk off?
and like Hank is in there.
You
And
sat in his chair. You're like, sit in the
No,
fucking
no.
understand.
I was pretty quiet, but it was, I love Torts is he's honest. He could be challenging at times, but when he comes at you, it's just about being honest, really, and I appreciate that. It was fun to play for Torts.
You
It
know
really
where you
was.
stand, which is
Exactly.
every player wants. Like, just let me know where I stand.
Absolutely.
So-
Were you there when Voros gave him the gun and the wink?
Yeah, I remember that meeting.
So Aaron Voros, he was complimentary. He was bag skating a
Yeah.
lot, and he said, you guys have been playing great lately. You're gonna get a day off, and like even you, Voros, I know you haven't been playing much, and we appreciate your work ethic. And then Voros just like gave him the gun and the wink, and then he fucking snapped.
Yeah. Did you just give me the gun?
Yeah, I heard that. You just gun and wink me? The fuck, Voros? You're skating.
Yeah, I think you might have called him in the next day for a workout and a skate after. Thought he was getting the day off.
You just gunned me. Well, man, thank you so much again. We appreciate it. And any skills tonight? You know what you're doing yet?
Probably breakaways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but you're used to those.
Yeah,
you
you're
do
like,
those in
let's
warm up.
just pregame skate for me. Let's just do our usual warm up for game breakaways.
5 minutes.
Guys are like, Hank, we work on our passing. No, breakaways. You're not doing breakouts. So tonight will
And
be no
plug your
different.
clothing company again so people can check it out.
Bread and boxers.
All right, maybe
Bread and
maybe we'll
boxers.
sell you a little ad
tags,
space.
just clean.
Just a
hoodies.
good
Like
look.
Affliction, like
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like bedazzled pockets on the jeans that you guys
And
sell.
it's Ed Hardy in Sweden.
RA will be all over it. Send him a care package. But yeah,
I'll
thanks
send
for
you some
coming.
stuff.
Thanks so much, man. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Hank, we're actually back on the interview. We ended it, but we forgot to tell one story. Traffic gets pretty bad in NYC. You have a helicopter story. That's how you get around, like Kobe Bryant.
Well, we had this one incident a few years ago. I was shooting a show called The Mask, where I interviewed celebrities, and we sat down to create a mask as well. And then I wore the mask in a game, and we sold them off for charity. And for this specific episode, I was interviewing Jeff Gordon, the NASCAR driver. So this morning we had no practice. We were just flying out to LA, I think, at noon. So in the morning we took the helicopter up north to a racetrack, me and Jeff, and we were driving some cars. We sat down for an interview, design the mask, and then around 11:15, we pretty much ran to the helicopter to make sure we were on time to get to the airport. And normally, we fly out of Westchester, and for some reason, we were not flying out of Westchester this day. But I didn't know that, so ran into a helicopter. I'm looking at this clock in the helicopter, and it says arrival time 11:55. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be close, but I'll make it. And we come in over the airport, and I can't find our team plane. I'm starting to sweat a little bit now. And then we land, and I text our team rep, and it's like, okay, please tell me you're in Westchester. Where are you? It's like, no, we're in Newark.
The chopper to the wrong.
And I start sweating so bad, and Jeff and the entire crew that felt so bad. But I'm like, they have to wait. We have to go now. So we take the helicopter down to Newark Airport instead, and we land right next to the plane. And I look at my phone. I have 22 messages saying, "Thanks for dinner, Hank." And all the guys are clapping their hands.
It would have been cheaper to take your own PJ to go down to LA or wherever.
Gordon's like, I could have driven you there faster. Dude, have you seen me drive?
But it was, I just had to smile and take that check. It was an expensive 15, 20-minute delay, but.
And there's some people that get to pay for team dinner after that, and there's some people that the plane takes off.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. There's a big.
Biz is late for the
Yeah.
plane when they're in the air. Biz is like,
just
flying
just
Southwest.
just stay home for the road trip.
Exactly.
That plane story actually reminded me of another one. You have Hank's Wine Club or something where every time you get a shutout, he'll, usually like once a month you'll like gather a bunch of bottles. Let's say 1 month you had 3 shutouts. He'll take 3 bottles of wine and he'll like call out guys on the plane. Don't you do a little raffle?
I do. Yeah, it actually started my rookie year. I saw Kevin Weeks do it. Such a classy guy, but he taught me, like, when you have a shutout, obviously it's a lot of fun for a goalie to have a shutout, but it's all because you have 20 guys in front of you working their
that's
ass
sick.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a nice
so
little plug.
I loved that little thing he did for his teammates. So I started to do the wine bottles, Hank's wine lottery, as I call it. So I always grab the mic in the plane. Like, hey guys, it's time for Hank's wine lottery again. Let's see what we got here today. And then I just picked 3
What
guys.
kind of bottles of wine? Like Yellowtail, the stuff you get at the convenience store?
Some box wine.
Box
He's like, I'll
wine.
sign it though. Don't worry.
$2 check.
No, he has 3 shutouts 1 month, but he has 2 bottles. They're like, where's the third? He's like, I had 53 saves that night. You guys were terrible. You don't get one for the third.
I drank
That
it.
was all me, motherfuckers.
I drank it.
Oh, that's
It's
great.
been too long now. Actually, we have a lot of young guys on the team that haven't experienced Hank's wine lottery because there's no
Well,
shutouts.
Hazy will
this
open it
year.
and chug it probably. You're
Yeah.
like, hey, you're supposed to let it air out a little bit, Hazy.
Let it breathe.
That's a low blow, Hazy. I love it. I know you wouldn't do that. You're a pro.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for
All right,
coming on and
Hank.
tell those few
Awesome, man.
stories. You were incredible.
Thank you, guys.
Wish you
Thank you
luck.
very
Good
much,
to see
buddy.
you.
Awesome, brother.
Have a great weekend.
Awesome. You have a great weekend.